So I wanted to let everybody see some things that I had to do to set up my Delta 10-inch contractor saw model 36-725. I watched other YouTube videos, and I even watched the company-sponsored video on how to assemble this particular table saw, and I noticed that I wasn't getting quite the ease or smoothness in making sure that my fence was parallel to the blade or perpendicular to the front of the table. So after having figured it out, I thought I would share what the things were that I had to do to get there, just in case anybody else was having any other problems. The primary part of my problem was when it came time to install the two wings here. My wings were not manufactured with great precision. They were wavy. There were small bumps, perhaps the rivets here as the bevels as they formed their corners that met with the cast iron main table. It was difficult to have those make contact to where there was a complete level surface on top, as the instructions tell you to do. They'll tell you to first attach the wing using 3 bolts here, here, and here on both wings, and then after that you can go ahead and attach these. However, in my case, after having done that, it created a waviness to the wings because the wings were not manufactured well. So how did I fix it? I first did not attach these screws first, as the instruction manual is going to tell you to do, but rather I used the jig that's supplied by the company to first install these perfectly. This center part was manufactured with great precision, unlike the wings. So I knew that if I could install this rail here and the rear rail using the jig accurately, then I knew that the sides of the rail where the wings would attach to would be very accurate as well. So I wanted to rely on the rail's accuracy and not the flushness between the wing and the tabletop when attaching the wing. So after I had guaranteed precision accuracy using the jig, then I brought my wings in and I inserted the 4 bolts, the 2 in the front and the 2 in the rear, on both wings. And I found that I was still having difficulty. I could set, using the jig correctly, I could set the right height of the wing and the right location according to what the jig wanted. But the second I started to fasten in my bolt, that's when the table started to shift. Upon removing the bolt, I realized that my issue was the pre-drilled holes in the wings. So how did I fix that? I used a Dremel with a metal grinding bit you see here, and I had to use the cone-shaped one rather than the cylinder-shaped to make sure that I didn't damage or accidentally grind away the black metal rail, but only the gray wing. And I would insert the Dremel here, turn it on. I used the 90-degree elbow attachment, and I would grind away until the hole that was originally off and pre-drilled by the manufacturer was now fitting well, so that when you screwed in the bolt, it didn't cause the table to shift. Another thing that I found very helpful was taking one of these rare earth magnets that's heavy duty and doesn't move very easily. You can pick these up at Lowe's. And what I would do, I'll show you on the rear side, is I would just place it like this and try to keep this perpendicular to the table edge. You can use the right angle as this. And this way, if you were assembling this with just yourself, as I was, this way you can make sure that it's not going to move, and it will not move very easily. The other thing is, the instruction manual just makes it look, the drawing makes it look as though this part of your rail is just going to fill the entire gap, as though the gap was the same thickness as the rail, which it is not. So the side of the jig that I tried to ensure contact was the top of this gap. You'll notice that there is about a 1/16 of an inch in gap on the bottom of the rail between the rail and the jig. And this magnet really holds it steady. And after that was done, after I installed the rails properly, after having fixed the pre-drilled holes, then I would do the 3 here. And after that, everything was working really well, and I was finally able to properly align my fence. The last tip that I really want to offer to any of those who have purchased one and are in the assembly process is make sure that when you wipe off the manufacturer's oil as you're taking this primary table out of the bag, you're going to wipe off all of that ugly looking oil, lubrication, whatever they're using. But make sure that you put your own lubrication on immediately after taking it out of the bag, because mine has been out of the bag for just 2 days. I wiped it 2 days ago. I don't know if you can see it on this iPhone camera, but rust was just beginning to form just after 2 days. So today I put some oil on it, and I like to use this, I believe this is almond oil. This is what I use, jasmine. Yeah, jasmine oil, I believe. This is what I use for my hand planes. But consult the manual or anybody else's advice. The point is, you got to make sure that this thing is prevented from rust immediately. But I'm also in a shop where there's poor sealing around the doors, and so when it rains, humidity skyrockets. But anyway, good luck to all of you who have just purchased this table saw, and let me know if you found any other tips.